I believe, the mayor here.
Who's the mayor?
That is going to address us. And I would say that we all listen to what he has to say before we do our General Assembly.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Is that a proposal?
Is that a proposal?
To postpone the GA?
To postpone the GA.
So that the mayor can speak to us?
So that the mayor can speak to us.
How do people feel about that proposal?
How do people feel about that proposal?
Is anybody blocked?
Who feels mad about that proposal? Who feels bad about that proposal?
Speak up.
Few people, do we have any serious objections to that proposal?
Thank you. So I'm Bob Kiss, the mayor of the city of Burlington. I want to acknowledge that a tragedy occurred here today. It's not so much my speech here that I want to have. I want to introduce Mike Sherling, the chief of police of the city of Burlington, and I think he has a message that's critical for everyone here to hear. And so, Mike, I'm not sure where you are right now. If you could come up. Yes, that'd be great.
Mic check!
Mic check!
We agreed!
We agreed!
To postpone the GA meeting!
To postpone the GA meeting!
To the mayor speak!
To hear the mayor speak!
Not the chief of police!
Not the chief of police!
Is there a proposal?
Is there a proposal?
To postpone the GA meeting!
To postpone the GA meeting!
To hear the chief of police speak!
To hear the chief of police speak!
I propose that people who want to speak
that people who want to speak
to the GA meeting
to the GA meeting
should get on the stack and respect the facilitators like everyone else.
Like everyone else.
Yep.
Block that. No.
The proposal is to make them stay on the stack.
We have a block.
Emily has a block. I have a block.
Do you withdraw the proposal?
Well, folks,
I understand the process. The message at this point actually is just an invitation. A tragedy has occurred here in the park. The police department has a very complex job to do. We can confirm at this stage that the person who received a gunshot wound has passed away. As a result of that, we have an unattended or suspicious death that needs to be investigated. And as a result, we have to make some modifications to the way the park is set up temporarily. We would like to discuss this with you at 6 o'clock in conference room 12. I'm not sure I can necessarily set it up so it's got the same layout and the same formality that you use in the General Assemblies, but we would like to have a conversation about what the next few days are going to look like. So that's all. I apologize if we've somehow circumvented the normal chain of communication, but I think it's an important message. So
I have a question.
Thanks for your time.
Police chief, sir.
I'm not sure we're prepared to talk in details right now.
It's not a detail question. It's just purely structural, just framework. Is there enough room for people that want to attend in conference room, whatever it is? Is there enough room for us?
If not, we will find alternate space to make that happen.
Would be great. That would be really good.
Keith McGilvery from Channel 3. What does this mean? We were just on at 5, a lot of buzz on our website. What does this mean for the future of this camp in the City Hall
That's
Park?
exactly what we're going to talk about at 6, Keith.
Are you open to keeping it open?
We're going to talk about that at 6 o'clock. So right now we've got some very critical things that need to happen in the park. So there's officers here. They'll be communicating some things to you one-on-one. But most importantly, I think 6 o'clock we got to sit down and explain to you what's going on. That's very hard to do one-on-one, so I think that's next up for 6. So thanks for your patience.
Mayor, what is your take on
Mic check! Mic check!
Moment of silence.
Moment of silence.
Starting now.
Starting now.
Hold hands if you like.
Hold hands if you like.
Very good friend.
I think the sound was fine.
Mic check.
Mic check!
Tugging.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
I knew Josh.
I knew Josh.
For the last 4 weeks now.
For the last 4 weeks now.
And he's a proud veteran.
He's a proud veteran.
And a really good soul.
And a really good soul.
He's a tragedy of society.
He's a tragedy of society.
And it's society's inability to deal with his problems.
And society's inability to deal with his problems.
Along with the Veterans Administration.
Along with the Veterans Administration.
And people that should care about him.
And people that should care about him.
He came here to us.
He came here to us.
Because he really liked the movement.
Because he really liked the movement.
And he expressed many times.
And he expressed many times.
With actions.
With actions.
Not a lot of words.
Not a lot of words.
He helped us on our security patrols.
He helped us on our security patrols.
And he was watching our backs.
And he was watching our backs.
And he gave me a lot of inside information.
He gave me a lot of inside information.
Just about the community that we share this park with.
Just about the community we share this park with.
Who are a bunch of people that don't have any homes.
Who are a bunch of people who don't have any homes.
And I personally am going to remember Josh. And all of you. For the sense of what we can all accomplish together. What doesn't kill us. Makes us stronger. And we need to work on these issues. That cause these kind of tragedies. Thank you.
Thank you. Mic check.
Mic check.
Our plan was to have a GA. At that GA. We wanted to open it up. For anyone who wants to talk. It seems to me. That's happening pretty naturally. Because we are a community. So I'd like to say. That I am heartbroken. There's no other way to put it. And I'd like to open up this time. For everyone to speak. About how they feel.
Mic check.
Mic check.
I got to know Josh really well these past few weeks.
I got to know Josh really well these past couple weeks.
And he's a funny ass dude. And I think that what we all need to remember from this is that we are a community. And this didn't just happen out of nowhere. The systems in place in this country are failing. And I would urge everyone in this community to be there for each other. Because this needs to make us stronger. And we're not going anywhere.
Mic check. I didn't really know Josh very well. But he was part of this community. So he was my brother anyway. Since today, I have seen the most compassionate response from this community, and some of the most insensitive responses from people who are not part of this community. They asked me how I felt about a gun in this park. Not about a man who was in a hospital dying. This is the important part. That there is a man we loved here. And this was tragic. And people are gonna not look at it the right way. And not listen to our message. And I want to remind us that we are a community. And we will be heard. And we are standing behind our brother. In all the love that we have.
Mic check. Emily?
Emily?
We'll make our voices be heard.
We'll make our voices be heard.
And we'll make them listen to us.
And we'll make them listen to us.
Tonight's tragedy is not an indictment of our movement. Even though the 1% will say that it is. Tonight's tragedy is an indictment of everything this movement is fighting against. This is an indictment against a system that tolerates homelessness while houses sit empty, that fails to provide people with the services that they need. Cynically, the 1% will try to use this tragedy that they caused to undermine our movement. We can't let that happen. We need to redouble our efforts to fight back against homelessness, to fight back against a system that only meets the needs of the 1%. We need to keep building this fight back. We need to mourn and speak out tonight. And we need to speak out again tomorrow. We need to organize a vigil tomorrow. And to speak out against homelessness. And against the lack of services and health care that people need. I propose that we have this vigil and speak out tomorrow at 5 o'clock and do everything we can to do outreach to everyone we know and bring everyone down here for it.
Mic check.